What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. And if you're listening to this on the podcast platforms, please do subscribe. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. Let's just go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this podversation/reality chat. You know, this is something I have been waiting to discuss. And I thought, you know what, now's the time, because it's been reported, if you've been following the show Love and Marriage Huntsville from OWN TV, and if you've been following Melody, you know that Melody has a very cult fan base. Like, there are people that call themselves Melometers, and they really, really love this woman. I don't consider myself a Melometer, but that's not because I don't like her. I actually really do admire her. Definitely admire her strength for getting out of a terrible marriage after having 4 children. That's not an easy thing to do. And because I also know someone who was in a similar situation and had the strength to step out of her marriage and say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not going to stand for the disrespect. And did it after having multiple children and wouldn't allow that to be something that would keep her in a terrible situation. I admire anyone that has the strength to do that, because a lot of women wouldn't. And especially we know that back in the days, things were different, where women were bound to be in these terrible relationships because they didn't have any other place to go, and they needed that person to sustain them, even if they were treating them badly. So we live in a different age now, for sure, but even though we live in a different age and time now, there are a lot of women that still feel like they're stuck and they can't get out of that because they don't feel that they have anywhere else to go, or they have been so broken that they just feel depleted. And I really admire that. So I wanted to talk about this. You know, there are people that say the Melometers, they've made this show Love and Marriage Huntsville become a train wreck because they will come for anyone that they feel doesn't support Melody, doesn't like Melody, try to destroy them. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can understand where some of them are coming from, and it all depends on in what ways these people are doing what they do. Because, look, I don't agree with anyone trying to tear down anyone else's livelihood or their business that they've worked hard to create because they feel that the person doesn't like or support Melody. I guess I can understand that. But when it comes to Martel, her ex-husband, the father of her 4 children, he deserves everything negative that comes his way because he sowed those seeds. Okay? And I am a big believer in sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow. And he has done a lot of negative things to her, said a lot of negative things to her. He has allowed his now baby's mama, who we know as Coleslaw, Ariana Curry, to completely disrespect her. This girl said she used to call Melody and tell Melody how her husband was using his mouth on her and how he was really great at it. And he allowed those things to happen. I believe he allowed it. Yeah, I believe he allowed it. And now, you know, you look and see him in this struggle situationship with Sheree Whitfield from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm going to talk about that separately. But the reason why I wanted to do this is because I wanted to take a look back at season 2 and just take a little walk down memory lane to show people who feel that the Melometers are really over the top. They really need to blame Martell for this, because Martell is the one that created the Melometers. Melody has just been living her life. She is someone that is a vocal person. She doesn't mind going on live videos and talking to her followers and sharing details of her life and the things that got her up to where she was and checking out of that marriage. Martell was the one that created the Melometers. It wasn't Melody. Melody didn't create the Melometers. Martell created them. And I'm going to play something. I'm going to let you all listen to this and just prove how he is the one that created the Melometers. And he has no one except himself to blame for any time he puts something out there and people are not supporting him. He's never going to win. And it reminds me of, even though we know Melody is far from Celie from The Color Purple, right? We know that. I'm definitely not speaking about her in terms of her looks. But if you remember the scene from The Color Purple, and when Celie put those two fingers pointing them at Mr., and she said, everything you done to me is already done to you. What Martell did by disrespecting his former wife and their marriage, the vows that they made to God, because you first and foremost, you make your vows to God and then you make them to your spouse. He clearly disrespected those vows and his wife for the sake of getting his schlong wet in more places than one. So it's just ridiculous that people think that Melody can really call off the dogs when every time you looked, Martell was the one that was creating these ravenous pit bulls. I'm just going to put it like that. I'm not calling people dogs, but I'm just saying these ravenous pit bulls that you can't call them off. There's nothing you can do to stop them because he did this. He created the monster. And when people saw the things that Martell said and did, the trauma bonding, yes, it is real, but he is a symbol of that disgusting, narcissistic man who is so selfish, so self-centered, and only thinks about himself and wants everyone else to believe that they were the victim. And all she was trying to do was be a wife, be a mother. It is not an easy thing to do with just having one child. So can you imagine having 4? And for people to blame her and say, well, she knew how he was and she wound up getting pregnant by him again. Look, she was married to the man, okay? So everyone can say what they want to say, but who's to say that she wasn't on some type of birth control and the birth control failed? I'm a testament to that. I had one child in my lifetime, and you know why? Because the birth control was defective, okay? It wasn't because I was not being careful. And I'm married to the man that I have the baby with, but I'm just saying, people judge on the outside looking in, and they blame her for having another baby with her husband. When you're married, you do those things. Sometimes even when you don't feel like it. And I can guarantee you when it came to Melody, she probably didn't feel like it and she just gave in because she got tired of hearing his mouth. But I'm going to play some things, let you all listen to it, and then I'm going to get back into my commentary.
I've been thinking about you.
So how's it been going?
It's been going all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You look so beautiful.
You're the one looking beautiful. Yeah.
I called you over here today to talk. Martell is here.
Martell? About what?
I invited you and Chris invited him. Me and Chris want to help.
What y'all want to help do, Miss Nell?
We want to talk to you guys and see if there's any reconciliation.
Oh, you mean talk to us about how we can move forward separately, but peacefully and amicably. That sounds good.
You stop playing.
I'm for real.
I'm serious, Mel.
I'm for real, too.
Let's at least try, Mel.
I did already.
Well, can we just talk about it?
We could if you want to. I'm not appreciating this sneaky intervention. But Chris and Nell have counseled us many times, so I do respect them enough to at least listen to what they have to say.
Uh-oh, here comes some demons.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hello.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's up?
You finna go to a concert, aren't you? How you doing?
Can't perform.
Yeah, man. I heard.
How you doing?
Well, it feels good to see Mel right now, and really relieved that she didn't turn around when they mentioned that I was here. So we off to a decent start at least.
You look beautiful, Melody.
Thank you.
Like always.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Life is amazing.
There you go.
Okay, guys. Stop it.
I heard it's
Stop it.
amazing.
Just pipe down.
Oh.
Don't be trying to deter this conversation. We brought you guys here today because we want to help. We love you all, like genuinely. We do not want to see you all go through this. And you have 4 beautiful children. And you've been together a long time. Why just throw all that away?
There's always a way. I mean, we went through the same thing. I screwed up just like Martell did. You got to own that, number one. You definitely have to own that, as I did. But the woman has to be able to compromise. Because, I mean, we were apart for over a year.
Almost 2.
And here we are now, 26 years later. And it took a lot. It took a lot.
Do y'all want to be married? Honestly, do y'all want to be married?
To be married to each other?
Yes, to each other. Who? Ain't nobody here but us.
I didn't know what you was talking about. I didn't know you was talking about do we believe in marriage or we talking about we want to be married to each other.
To each other, not no one else. Each other.
Oh.
Melody down there, she playing around, laughing, and like it's not a game. Like for real, we do have 4 beautiful children. I mean, our kids hurt every day.
It is about you two, but it's really about them. Their life. How it's affecting them. You guys placed them here. You both are responsible for them.
With our kids, I was a lot more hands-on than Melody. Period. And not because she was making more money than me, not because she was more busy than me, because I was always on my grind. One of our last little arguments for real was me saying that I kind of want to fall back from really being more hands-on than her. I'm like telling her, okay, like you step in and, you know, you be the dominant parent when raising Milani right there. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I feel like I got burnt out. You know, me getting up, doing all this, doing all of that.
Well, I hope you're ready to start it over. Go ahead.
Well, maybe if you did everything you're supposed to, maybe I wouldn't be starting over.
Whoa, see, that's y'all.
If you did everything you're supposed to do in my household, I wouldn't be starting over.
That's totally disrespectful.
Because why are you playing me like this?
Because you're sitting there playing me.
Now, the last time we talked, you guys were on the right path. When COVID came, it's like, what happened?
I think we checked out. Yeah, that's what happened. We checked out.
Martell checked out, let's be clear.
I mean, you did too.
No, I checked out April 4th when I left. You checked out in March.
Well, I guess, you know, that came along with the disrespecting, calling me the bitches.
I'm a very strong woman, but I wasn't disrespectful to him. The disrespect verbally that came to Martell is when he continuously kept doing things and putting me in situations and putting me in hurtful places. That's when I became, because I did lose respect.
Disrespect can go both ways. Are you going to keep back trailing to this other woman? Because that's embarrassing for a woman. Cheating is not right.
No, it's not.
You're not supposed to do it, period.
No, you're not.
But it's how they do it. And the thing for me is disrespect for cheating. You keep making a laughing stock out of her. That's a lot to take for a woman, and a woman of her caliber.
Well, no, that was Melody's issue. Why you keep talking to the same? I'm like, God damn, what you want me to go mess with 20 women? No, I don't. That ain't me. No.
Oh,
That was her issue. Me talking to the same person. No.
He talked to multiple.
No. Why you?
Martell has slept with multiple people in this marriage. Let's be clear. Go
Stop
ahead.
lying.
It's not a lie.
Damn. Get tired of you lying so much. You victim.
Oh.
whoa.
Stop being a victim all the time.
Oh.
It gets on my nerves.
So everybody just heard everything Martell said.
No,
and you
because
just said I'm playing the
well,
victim.
I wish one day people would see the person that you really are. You throw all the damn stones and hide your hands and be the victim. Because when we start going through stuff, I told you what you weren't doing in the marriage.
Okay.
And then you didn't fulfill that. And then, I stepped out because you weren't taking care of me.
Okay.
And then somebody started taking care of me, and now I'm like, I like this, where I went to. And then you still disrespecting me. You still not being the person that I want you to be. This other person I'm talking to, she satisfying me.
I'm tired of hearing you saying that. Know that. I'm tired of hearing you say that. You're the truth. You would have been gone and asked for a divorce a long time ago. So don't sit here and act like that's the truth.
All right, guys, so you heard it all. Going back down memory lane, the creation of the Melometers, because if you who call yourself Melometers, I am definitely a supporter of Melody, and I admire her strength, and I admire her growth, and I admire her success after leaving that toxic relationship. If you are like me, at that moment when she threw that glass at Martell, you screamed out in support. And that is the moment the Melometer was created. Because the audacity of this bastard sitting there telling this woman, lying, first of all. What man do you know like that, who is as narcissistic as he is, was taking care of the kids? Somebody who was in and out of the house, going to the gyms at all hours, going to the gym during lockdowns, during COVID. Please believe me, he was not taking care of those kids, treating Melody as if she was just the person that popped the kids out, but he was Mr. Mom while she was going out and working and coming home, and he was having to cook and clean and work and being the breadwinner too. Give me a freaking break. He is such a liar. He, like, his face should be in the dictionary next to the narcissist, because that is exactly who he is. And when he was lying about Melody in terms of the things that she was not doing as a mother, that alone is extremely and highly disrespectful, because we see how hands-on she is with her children. We saw it on the show, and we've seen it for those who follow her on social media, right? Everything that Martell does and has done, it has been for the viewing audience. When she did the photo shoot with the children, when it was the African theme, he followed her and did the same thing, copying her, but also adding his outside child. I'll just put it nicely in that way. His outside child to the mix and in the picture. And everything that he has done, it has been to try to be a dig at Melody. He is the reason the Melometer exists, because he makes it really impossible for anyone that has sense about themselves to be supportive of him. And that's why everything that he touches turns to dust when it comes to these so-called business ventures, the wine. Like, go get your freaking business builder's license. Do that. You can't even pass the builder's license exam to do that which you claim you have so much experience in, but now you want to go out and create a product to follow and emulate Melody when she went out and created a product to sell. Now you want to create a product to sell, and it'll never work, because things that he's trying to create, that just shows you how much sense he does not have. Why wouldn't he create something that would be targeted towards men? Yeah, we know men drink wine, but the way he was trying to go about doing it, it's to appeal to women. And a lot of women see him in a disgusting way. So they would never be in support of the products that he creates, ever. So I don't know for the life of me, if he was so smart and he claimed to be the one that was making the money in the relationship, why wouldn't he create a product for his head, for scalps, for the beard, or something like that, something to target towards men, versus creating a product that he's going to have to try to tug at the heartstrings of women. And a lot of women are just never going to see it for him, because a lot of women, unfortunately, have been burnt by men similar to him. So yeah, Martell is the reason why the Melometer exists. And I wanted to just take that little stroll down memory lane, jog you guys' memory to the exact moment. We know there have been a lot of things that have been shown on the past seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville that will just continue to keep the support of melody going strong. But that moment right there was the moment the Melometer was created. So I would really love to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. This is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, keep it beautiful. Until the next time, I'm going to say bye.